Hey guys, this is Jace Mack. Welcome back to episode 2 of Donkey Kong Country. We are continuing forward, and we're in World 2. I don't remember how many worlds there are in this game, but we're going to find out. My goal is to probably beat about one world per episode. I'm not sure how these episodes are going to go. They should be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I debated about just like blasting through the whole game and then editing it down to like, just a 10-minute video of the whole game. So I don't know. I don't think there's anybody out there watching this right now. And even if in the future at some point there were people, I doubt anybody's going to go back really into these archival origin stories to discover the deep dark beginnings of how and why I started speedrunning. So this is some archival stuff. And if you happen to be here watching this and listening to this, then kudos to you on being a superstar. and someday you will be rewarded handsomely for your devotion. But for right now, I figure I have carte blanche to just mess around and figure out what our structure is going to be. I have to say that I'm so far doing significantly better at playing this game than I was the first session that I did that I couldn't keep. I couldn't keep those recordings because I didn't have the game audio didn't capture properly for me. So this time everything seems to be working and in proper order, so we're gonna hope that that continues to be the case. This game, I almost forget, I have this slap move that I forget about. I wonder with this game, I mean, I remember playing this game. I probably played it half a dozen times as a kid, and it certainly gained popularity. But as it went on, it became a little... People really liked 2, but I feel like 3 got a little derivative of itself. And I think it was about Dixie Kong or Trixie Kong, I don't remember which. And the Baby Kong maybe was his name. I don't know. I didn't have it. My brother had a copy of it, and I might have played it very briefly, but I don't really... I remember you could fly a little bit, but by then it was getting a little tired to me. But some people love it, so I guess I can't say that. But I will say that I was never a fan of Donkey Kong Country 64. That game, you'll find a split about whether that game was good or not. And it came out with that, I don't remember what it was called. The Nintendo 64 had this device that it was essentially like, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, like a graphics card or something that you pulled out of the front of the device, and then they made this new one that was supposed to increase the graphical power of your Nintendo 64. And it came out, I think, with Donkey Kong 64. It came bundled together, and it was exciting, and I got the game and I got this thing and I put it in. And I didn't notice any difference, if there was a difference. I guess there might have been. But the gameplay itself was kind of... I don't know, it's hard to say, because when you go back on these old games, it's not like any of them had such an amazing sparkle or shine comparatively, but there was something about Donkey Kong 64 that the worlds felt a little bit hollow. Like, there was a lot of terrain to cover, but not very interesting, and something about the way that things engaged with each other. There wasn't a lot of polish somehow. And I don't know. They did interesting things with it. There was 5 Kongs that you could choose from. But somehow I never got into it, and I couldn't play it very much. And ever since then, I kind of my soft spot for the Donkey Kong series got smaller. I did play the Donkey Kong Country Returns series when that came out. I played the first one. I never played the second one, but I had a great time with that one. It was really challenging, and it had a co-op mode. I played with one of my brothers, and it was a lot of fun. And Donkey Konga, oh man, that game was different and fun. So I guess I have played a lot of them and enjoyed them. But this is just not a game that I would normally pick up and casually play through. without... I'd get to, like, about here, and then I'd get frustrated, probably, and be like, you know, I'll just leave this in the past. And I'm feeling that a little bit, but you guys are keeping me motivated to want to try and get through this. And when I say you guys, I mean the 3 views that I will put in on this video when I check in on it every once in a while. And then, you know, that random potential for, like, you know, another 15 of you someday, maybe. And then that's fine with me, because we're definitely not in this for the views. We're here because we have the time and the resources and the inspiration to play a video game and see how much we can talk and chew gum at the same time. Wow, these guys are everywhere. Oh, alright, I made it. Now, I do remember that when you get all the letters, the K-O-N-G, that is an extra life. And that when you get 100 bananas, you also get an extra life. I hope that that's more than 9%. I hope that I'm actually further along than that, but we will see. The sound effects in this game, I'm noticing, everything is like echoed like you're in a canyon. Like especially the donkey calls, but I'm not sure. I'm just noticing that. It's not significant or anything, but I was just thinking about the style choices that they made at the time. I was talking earlier, I don't remember if it was this episode or the last one, about Puexel and his run of Chrono Trigger, and that is a game that I also, if I was going to start this like kind of like foray into Let's Plays, I think Chrono Trigger would definitely be a game that I would want to explore. There's a lot of really good stuff in there, and you could say it's nostalgia glasses to a certain extent, but there's a reason why it's remembered so well. It was a lot of high-level talent that they were all just coming into their prime, and they all happened to be working together at that moment, and they really came out with something that was unique and interesting. And that particular game involves a lot of time travel mechanics, and that, I mean, nowadays that's a tired plot device and stuff, but around then it was still pretty novel, and they were the first ones in a video game anyway to really, I think, to really utilize it and utilize it well. And it was, at the time for me, a really compellingly interesting story. And even now, when you sum it up, it's got an interesting hook. And maybe I shouldn't rant on about it now. In case I play the game, then I could talk about it. But the basic premise of Chrono Trigger is that there's these kind of teenagers, these kids, who, oh no, I had Donkey Kong in my hands and I didn't release him. How sad is that? But there's these teenagers and these kids that find themselves thrown through time into the future, through whatever circumstance. And while they're there, they realize that the world has essentially ended. Okay, now I'm starting to crumble apart here. I'm dying every few seconds. They realize that the world has faced its apocalypse pretty much, and humanity's struggling on, and there's not many people left. And at first they're just trying to get back to their own time, but the more they see, they realize, like, if there's something that we can do about this future, we should change it. And so that's kind of the... Oh man. So that's kind of the premise of the game, in a nutshell, is that, I mean, there's these kids that foresee this horrible future and they want to change the world to make it survive and to make it better. And I mean, I'm really doing a reductionist thing there, but I think that is a premise that really still echoes well today. And it was really, I don't even know if the creators fully realized that that's what they were doing, but that's an interesting way to present a story. It's just like there's these kids that can make a difference and they want to. They don't know how to go about it because there's this horrible thing that's going to happen that they can't really conceive of how to stop, but they're going to make every effort they can to use the resources they have to change the world. So that at its core is interesting, and then when you tie in all this idea of fate and prophecy and kind of traveling through time to alter your destiny, it's surprisingly profound. It has its flaws, of course. I think one of the biggest flaws with that game is the strength of the characters by themselves is not very robust. They're not like... Their arcs are not incredibly strong, but this was back in 1995 when video game characters didn't really have strong story arcs and stuff. But everything else that surrounds that game is pretty well polished, especially the music and the fighting mechanics and just the visuals and the sprites and everything just blends so well together that game really became iconic for me and for a lot of people. So I would like to check that one out, and I would recommend you check that out too if you've never played that game. They re-released it quite a few times, and it's... I don't know if all the re-releases have done it justice entirely, but it is a good one. I keep on dying here, and it's getting bad and embarrassing, so if I keep dying, if I get a game over... Here, I think this is my policy. If I hit a game over... I'm not making you watch me play again. We're gonna skip ahead to the end of the stage that got me the game over. So like, I'm gonna suffer off camera, and you'll never see it, and then we'll magically reappear after that stage is over. Or what I could do, oh no, what I can do actually is I could steal footage from somebody else, somebody who's actually beating the stage. Like from the Basement or Powexel or one of these people that, assuming they have the content, and I know the Basement has this content, so I'll just steal their footage of them succeeding in playing the stage as kind of a phone and a friend sort of a thing, and then you'll cut back to me struggling to get past the next stage, and that is probably a horrible policy. Just planning to steal other people's footage and use it without any kind of permission, but that's that might be the way we roll here in whatever we call this channel. It has no name. What is this, the JSmack Let's Play channel? I don't know. It has no name. You guys can name it if there's anybody out there. What I need is some like banner art and some other nice stuff, you know, that extra mile sort of thing. There, I killed a bird. I kind of feel bad for him. He's got all these bananas, and he's just a giant neck and a beak. Alright, here we are in Vulture Culture. So we made it past the boss, and we're into the new area, so I think I'll call it here for this episode. So thank you for joining me, and please come on back for the next one.